The aim for today's experiment is separation of sugar by thin layer chromatography. The principle behind this particular separation process of sugar by TLC, since in TLC we usually coat the layer of stationary phase on a very hard surface. It could be glass material or it could be any plastic support, or aluminium foil is also available, which we call as a ready-made plates, but we will be preparing the handmade plates that will be the layer of stationary phase, which we will be utilizing here is silica gel G, and that layer of silica gel G will be coated on the surface of the glass plate, which will be acting as a stationary phase. And obviously the mobile phase again will be liquid in nature. So here, since the silica gel slurry will be coated and the plate will be allowed to dry or get activated in the oven at 105 degrees for a period of 60 to 70 minutes. During that activation process, whatever the excess amount of water is there, that will be removed from the surface, and leaving behind all the active part of the silica gel or the SiO2 groups. They will be in the activated position for the interaction with the sample, so that during the separation both the process of or both the mechanism is adsorption as well as partition plays a role in the TLC. Both the process come into play at the same time, because the layer which is having the liquid in it will be providing the partitioning behavior, and the original nature of the silica gel is absorptive in nature. So adsorption and partition, both type of separation mechanism will be operating during the separation of the sugar by TLC method. But here the most important will be the activation of the plate, where it is very important to remove all the dissolved gases, atmospheric gases, as well as excess amount of the liquid, if at all it is present during the slurry preparation, should be removed. If it is not activated, then those active spots where the solvent or the sample is to get interacted by generation of very loose forces for the adsorption and partitioning behavior to occur may not be available. So activation is a very important step here, and the thickness of the layer is also very important. If more thick layer is there, then we may not be able to do it for the analytical purpose. Thick layers are required for carrying out the preparative TLC method. For doing the analytical work in the TLC, the layer thickness should be of around say 200 or 250 micrometer. That is sufficient enough to do the analytical procedure. As the thickness of the layer will increase, the visualization of spot will become difficult during the analytical process, because spots will go down inside that particular layer. Also, the advantage the TLC offers over the paper chromatographic technique is the diffusion of the spot, which is seen more in the paper which is made up of cellulose. The diffusion of spot here is to a lesser extent as compared to the paper chromatographic technique. Also, the spraying reagents which contain some corrosive material or corrosive reagents in it can be easily sprayed here with the help of the TLC plate. So keeping this principle in mind, both the processes are active here, or both the processes are helping in the separation of the sugar in the TLC. The current जो experiment है, in that during the procedure I will explain what all mobile phase is to be taken, and how we will apply the spot in this particular TLC technique. In the present experiment here, since the sugars are again the colorless substances, or they cannot be directly viewed, it as a spraying reagent, either or name. In this current experiment, the reagent which we will be utilizing is aniline phthalate in butanol ether water mixture. Specifically, we will prepare aniline phthalate in butanol ethyl water mixture, and then once the spot is being applied, developed, then this particular spraying reagent will be sprayed on the plate, and after keeping it in oven for a period of 10 minutes at 80 degrees centigrade, there will be generation of a brownish color spot indicating that the sugar has got reduced, or this particular reagent will reduce the sugar. Specifically, this works well with the aldoses but not with the ketose sugar. The procedure for applying the spot on the plate: once the plate is being prepared and activated, then the plate will be looking, say, of this sort. We will be utilizing the glass plate of appropriate size depending upon the complexity of the sample. Once the plate is available, this is coated with the, say, silica layer. Here we have to mark our origin lines like we usually do it in the paper chromatographic technique, but this line will serve as the origin line, and again the precaution should remain same, that this origin line should not fall below the mobile phase level in the development chamber. And this particular origin line we will be applying the spot, and if we are not in a position to, say, draw the origin line because the chromatographic surface will get eroded, then we have, while we are applying the spot here as a circular shape, with the help of the capillary, we will create a small pinhole here that will serve as the origin point later during the calculation of the RF value, because the migration parameter which we will be calculating again in TLC will be the RF value, and for RF value again it is defined as the distance traveled by sample from origin line to the distance traveled by solvent from origin line. This is again the definition or the RF retardation factor. Once the spot is being applied, we have create a pinhole with the help of capillary tube. Then in the development chamber, depending upon the size of the plate, we will be keeping this plate for the ascending development technique. We will allow the plate or the solvent to run around 70 to 75% height of the plate, and once the solvent has reached that point, we will stop the development process and allow the plate to dry. Once the plate is dried, the spraying of the reagent with the help of spraying bottle, appropriate reagent, as I have told, the aniline phthalate we will be spraying. We will spray the aniline phthalate over this particular plate and then keep that particular plate in the oven at 80 degrees for allowing the color of the spot to be developed, which can be visualized as a brown spot against the background very clearly. After the waiting period or the time required for the development of spot in the oven is over, we can see the brown spot for a particular sugar. Okay. Now to calculate the distance traveled, if suppose in the present experiment the mobile phase to be used is N-butanol, pyridine and water in the ratio of 6:4:3. In this particular ratio for particular volume, we will be mixing these three reagents 6:4:3 Then in this mobile phase, suppose the spot what we had applied for the sample has traveled up to a distance of this point, or we are visualizing the brown spot at this color. How to calculate the RF? We have to measure this distance from the pinhole which we had created during the application of the spot. Directly we will measure the center of this particular spot and the distance traveled by, say, the solvent front. So whatever the distance from the origin the sample has run, and whatever the distance the solvent front has run from the origin line, these two values will be measured with the help of scale, and this formula we will keep those values and calculate whatever is the RF value, and from the reported RF values we will try to match and come to the conclusion regarding the identity of the unknown sample. So for carrying out the TLC process, we will be requiring, or preparing the slurry, we will be requiring the mortar pestle, we will be requiring the glass plate, and we are using distilled water for preparing the slurry or the aqueous solution. So for I will be preparing more than one plate, so I have taken around 3 to 4 grams of the silica gel. Be adding the appropriate quantity of water to prepare the slurry. Now the slurry is ready, or it is having a good consistency. It is not very liquidy flow and it is not very thick. It is, the consistency is appropriate to be for the preparation of the plate. I will be preparing the plate by the pouring technique. I will be pouring the slurry over the plate. To take precaution that the slurry is spread over all of the plate and excess is allowed to drain, and once the plate is seen, we should not touch in the chromatographic area or where the silica gel is present. Now this plate is fully being prepared by the pouring technique. This I will keep aside and keep this in oven for the X. So I have prepared a series of plate now using the quantity available of slurry with me. Now I will be keeping all this plate for the activation process. Now the plates after activation are now ready for the spotting process. So I have the capillary with me, the sample of the sugar to be applied. I will be taking this with the help of capillary and applying it in the center. I will be applying only one spot, and as I said, I will be making a pinhole where I will be applying the spot for recognition later as a point of origin. I have, as compared to paper chromatography, the diffusion of spot is less. For sufficient concentration, I am applying it on the same, and I have made a pinhole here for counting it during the RF value calculation. Spot has been dried after the application. The saturation is also done for the mobile phase. I will be keeping the plate at an angle of 45 degree and allow the ascending development to take place. You can see slowly the mobile phase is rising. You can see still the development is going on, and the mobile phase has reached almost nearly 40% of the height of the plate. So we will give further time for the development and come back once it reaches the 70 to 80% height of the plate. 70 to 80% height of the plate has been run. I will remove the plate by taking or handling it from the top portion and allow dry so that the mobile vapors are evaporated, and then later I will be spraying the spraying reagent specific to the sugar. Now spraying reagent to be sprayed. We will keep this plate now in the oven for the development of color. You can see the brownish color spot of the sugar is visible here. Now we will calculate the appropriate distance from the origin line for the solvent front as well as the spot, and report the RF value and match it with the reference and establish the identity of the unknown sugar which was applied as a sample.